So guys, let's talk about Pocket Space, about the product, about the questions that you have, about everything. Here is the structure that I will go through. For the newbies, I will talk about the Pocket Space introduction, tell about the game, and yes, and then it's good sides. Then we'll jump to the year 23 plans, up to actually year 24, and then we'll go to the actual questions to the AMA part. So what is Pocket Space? For everyone who is new here, we're building a sci-fi adventure game on thousands of planets. You can see one of the planets, it's render on your right. You'll definitely love this one. The game itself is an idle arcade meta game, which basically means you have a casual type of controls. One button, you gather resources, you use them, you craft, and so on, which is meta game, and then you maybe will be able to participate in multiplayer battles in Battler core gameplay, which I will talk about a little later. The game is so-called play to own, which means NFT ownership and quite high transparency levels on this side, and it's going to be free to play forever. Here we don't have any entrance gates. We believe strongly that everybody is welcome, and I will tell you why after all. The game, because of that, has quite a wide audience appeal, of which we are quite sure, because building this in partnership with the developer of a high hit game called My Little Universe, which is very much alike to what we're building. So it's our partner's game, and we're building something using its experience. It's huge. It's 30 million installs, and it's gonna be it's a wonderful blueprint for us as well. So development of the game of Pocket Space started in 2021 in December. Global release is hopefully going to be reached by the first half of 2024. And let's move on. So what's up with the game? What is the development roadmap? The development team and us started building the community in 2024, and at the same time we also started building the core gameplay modes. The first one was so-called player versus environment, or PvE gameplay. That's pretty much shown here. I doubt that you will hear the sound, unfortunately, but you will see the gameplay, so you can see how the player here is able to explore, to grind, to get resources, to build, to explore new hexagons, to fight enemies, as well as at the same time we develop a PvP mode, which you have seen just before, and tested it on the community as well. So this was 2022, and what happened with the PvE mode is that we saw exceptional numbers actually. So it really bursted quite well in regards with retention. We did see numbers above the benchmarks of the competition, and partially that was due to the fact that we ran quite a lot of community engagements, both with Fractal and internally. We had weekly tournaments with gameplay, and that did indeed engage community a lot. And we are thankful to the core guys who are with us still. We are thankful for a lot of feedback that we got from guys. You rock, thank you very much. And then in 2023 we moved to the beta stage, which is a changed PvE funnel plus cooperational mode. So what was achieved there is this. As you can see, a team of players are able to both gather resources, open new territories, as well as fight enemies, and at the end be victorious, or not. So yeah, you meet a boss, and this is pretty much the gameplay of PvE plus co-op. And what we saw in this iteration was well, we did have a huge number of people who finished the cooperational tutorial. 90% of people who entered the tutorial finished it actually. We saw 51% of new players, so it's just cold traffics, people who never heard about the game. 51% players played more than 1 hour, which is a very good number as well. And on average, we saw that time spent before starting cooperational tutorial was 6 hours 30 minutes, which means that people did spend a lot of time willing to get to the cooperational mode, even if these players were new players. They didn't know anything about the game before. So what we saw because of that, and what this resulted in, is that we boosted the multiplayer development. And in 2023, during the Q3, Q4, and before the before 2024, we are very much devoted to building more game modes. These include PvP modes, these include something else. I will show that later as well. Also, we'll be talking about and developing into NFT existence within the game, as well as playability of NFTs. And until the end of 2023, we are very much willing to figure out the full game monetization and unit economic scheme, so that the game is ready for a soft launch, which the whole 2023 Q3 4 stage is about. It's preparing for soft launch. Soft launch is a limited regions launch, but with a almost fully developed product. So I've teased a little bit on the modes that we are developing as well, and this is one of them. It's very much in development. Please be be forgiving. But at the same time, we within the development team, we play this version every Friday and have quite a lot of fun actually. So it's exciting. It's fast. It's fun. It's furious. So guys, you are probably going to like it as well. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. So also within 2023, and this is one of the reasons why we are having many newcomers, is that we're running a free mint very soon. I promise it's gonna be ready by the end of August. So this month, it's gonna be on Solana. It's gonna be with Magic Eden, so everything is going to be communicated very soon. We're starting cross collaboration this week. And what's the NFT is about? It's a character. His name is Eve. She's a wonderful adventurer. And the utilities of the NFTs are going to be, of course, playable. So playability is expected by the end of 2023. They will have in-game stats and gameplay mechanics, including both active skills and passive parameters. They will have some rarity ratings. We have already developed 69 sweet rarity ratings that we're gonna use. And of course, these are tradables. What's next for 2023, right? Of course, the closest plan is free mint. We wanna mint out, see the happy first hodlers, and move on with that. We are developing new game modes, as said. Higher retention is expected, higher engagement is expected. We will also like to build a Web3 layer on top of that, having sometimes modes available for tournaments and open stuff for community, but not openly, having this operational for the whole public. So being a community here helps a lot. NFTs will be playable in Q4, and game is going to be ready for soft launch, full-scale soft launch in 2024 as well. All right, so well, it went fast. So now it is AMI time. I do see a lot of questions. I do hope that we will be able to cover them all. So let us try do it fast. Okay, so the first one, I will cover the questions in the order they came to us. So sort of first come, first served. And I will go ahead. So the first one is, in the play-to-own model, do players have the freedom to use their NFT planets and equipment across different games, platforms, or marketplaces? How does Pocket Space address the issue of NFT interoperability and portability? That's a very interesting question, actually. We are constantly thinking in this direction. We do have 4 distinct thoughts on this, so to speak. So first off, we believe in player autonomy, right? So we want players to have full control over their assets, being able to first off mint, sell, buy, whatever they want, do with the assets. So this is point number 1. Pretty much very like to how you live with your Magic the Gathering cards, right? You can buy them at every hobby or tabletop shop, and you can do whatever you want. You can sell them, you can exchange them for something else, and they will be tradable and they will cost stuff. The second thought was that we need NFTs working with gameplay mechanics, and that means that they will be upgradable, mergeable. This is central to our gameplay, but also it's very, very likely that they, as being mergeable, they will be also burnable. So that means, yeah, the whole cycle of NFT transition is going to be represented. As well, we are thinking about interoperability, but right now what we're thinking of is leveraging the trend of multi-chain. We are hugely, we are researching towards this topic. We do have a couple of interesting prospect partners, and guys like Stardust, Chainlink, among them, and also, we are very much believing in open development cycle. So we have bi-weekly updates, we actively incorporate community feedback. And what this all means, as an answer to your question, is that we are going to be present on marketplaces and platforms like Magic Eden. Some of the NFTs might end up on OpenSea or somewhere else. But at the same time, we are looking, and at the same time, we're looking for other opportunities. So for interoperability itself, we already had several talks with another gaming products. There are some challenges, but there also are some possibilities. So you probably will hear about that later on. It's not a firm, interoperability plan ready right now, but this we do believe is going to be a part of the game. So it's quite fun, especially for the metaverses. Now let's go on to the second question. How does Pocket Space plan to engage its community in decisions related to gameplay changes, new features, other important aspects of the game development? And are there any plans for decentralized, autonomous organization? So first off, thank you very much for the question. It actually quite continues the open development cycle that I mentioned, because community engagement is definitely one of our main focuses on the product side. So we have already had a full year of tests, tournaments, leaks, teasers, and a lot of exciting things about the product that you can right now just jump into Twitter or Discord and read about. But as well, we would like to continue on that. We would like to deepen that. We would like to make that the best use case possible, actually. I mean, whatever is possible, we're gonna try to strive for that. As well as new features, gameplay elements, content and everything, it needs to be evaluated, right? And in this regard, helping community will be very much unmatched by any focus groups or any type of cold traffic. So helping us test the product, make it better, is something that we do expect I wouldn't call it expect, but we would really appreciate the community to help us with. And we see this help so far, so you rock, guys. Thank you very much. Now, about the DAO, decentralized autonomous organizations. It is indeed one of the product development options that we have. So especially if we, for example, decide to move on to a platform stage, if the game becomes something closer to a Roblox, Minecraft / Fortnite, UGC type of game, which we would love it to be. I mean, we totally have all the ideas around it. It just needs to be built towards that way. So if this happens, decentralized autonomous organization is truly a possibility. It will help motivate creators. It will help the organization actually to be way more self-organized. So indeed, it's a possibility. So stay tuned. We will update you on that every OG will learn about that in no time when it's ready. So, the next question. Balancing play-to-own mechanics can be challenging. How does Pocket Space ensure fairness and prevent situations where certain players might have an advantage due to owning rare NFTs? So, I will start with the good news. The good news are that first off, we're going to use matchmaking leagues, which means that you can expect to be matched with players of the same level of development, of the same MMR, and so on and so forth. So players are supposed to be of the same strength as you. Another good thing is that this is a skill-based gameplay. There is almost no random in the game. I mean, at the least amount of it during the core gameplay, during the fights that you can have. So battle mechanics are balanced to keep the game free to win, although very hard to master, of course. And we're also going to have seasonal live ops and rebalancing. Well, anyways, I mean, anybody does this. It's impossible not to do that. So we will be rebalancing characters so that this is a working cycle for competitive gameplay. Characters are kept competitive, and it works as a charm, so to speak. Now the not so good news are that the question is put like that, right? So how to make it that certain players don't have advantage due to owning rare NFTs. What I am about to say is that rare things in games must give rare utilities. So it's inevitably will positively reinforce the player, be willing to be way more engaged, be motivated to play the game. Thus, I wouldn't say that this is a proper goal setting to make the game not give any advantage to everybody who has rare NFTs, just because, if he has something rare, it means he's way more invested. If he lacks the skill, although the game is very skill based, if he lacks the skill, he will probably lose anyways, but he will have some additional chances, which will translate into a bit better parameters and so on and so forth. So there is both in this game, there will be both an option for the player to be very skill based, esports like, but at the same time run quite the meta-powered meta-powered games where you actually use your characters who were developed and improved throughout the game, upgraded throughout the game. So I hope this covers this question. So fourth question, next question. In the context of the recent investment round, how do you plan to allocate the raised funds to further develop and market Pocket Space? What are the anticipated milestones for the project growth? Yeah, that's a wonderful question. Thank you very much. Well, way more than half of the funded money that we got is allocated to the Pocket Space development project. just alone. So it's development. It's not even marketing. So we expect the product to be, well, seriously polished and ready to be marketed in 2024. And the next milestone is soft launch, as mentioned. So this is post beta version. We prepare it during 2023 and we run it in 2024. Thanks for the question. The next one is, if Pocket Space is accessible across multiple platforms, how does the game manage wallet and NFT access for players who switch between different devices? First off, the game is not yet accessible across multiple platforms, so the only two platforms that you can play the beta versions at are Android and iOS. We are also soon releasing the updated PvP mode to Google Play Store. Right now the games are delivered through test flight on iOS and through APK on our website through Google. So for now the game is using only mobile solutions like Fractal, and we have not yet implemented a strict player wallet integration funnel, and we're very open to what market solutions finally work eventually by the end of this year, because when we need it, we'll probably see some better, some more interesting cases of this adoption. So we're very much researching on what's the best way and open to feedback as well. And as of now, we also since our main hub is Discord, the game modes and everything is shared publicly within the Discord server, and you can just openly access everything from there, and some of the automations also work there. So this part is covered outside of the product for now. And yes, just as I said, until 2024, we have some time to implement the best solution out there by that time. Thank you for the question. So the next one, do you know how many in-game tokens there will be and what their utilities are going to be? So first off, since NFTs are also tokens, the first wave are going to be player character NFTs and planets. As mentioned in the white paper and everywhere else, we are running EVE collection, then we do already have another collection in pipeline, and we are preparing to sell planets as playable planets as game servers or game rooms, so that players will be able to host matches on their own planets, as well as host resource gathering. But please go ahead and read about that in the white paper. And the second wave are going to be items and craftable stuff. So for these, we are planning to have them mintable for free. What you're supposed to do is just generate enough resources, craft stuff, and you'll be able to make an NFT out of that. And then there are also token currency, right? So right now we are not believing that this is going to be a thing, so we're not going to have a speculational inventory like a token currency for a while. We're not currently aiming for 10x fast cash out Ponzi scheme, and we're not looking for ICO or IGO funding. We do have funds on the equity side. So the main goal for us is to grow a Web3 enabled economy which is very robust. And what we see with the tokens economy is that sometimes this is it's contradictory to being robust. But we have several interesting hypotheses on how to build it. We will just need to come to the exact stage of the product when it's ready to deliver that. And you can also refer to our white paper to see that we're going to use the soft in-game currency as resources, as well as hard microtransactions currency for more rare items and generating revenue inside the game. So what you can see here is that crafting equipment are NFTs, recipes are NFTs, planets are as well, and we're also using special keys and chests. while on the other hand, there is only soft currency, which is used to pay for all of that, and and resources, which you can buy for hard currency. So let me move on. I guess this question is done, and the next one is, the next one is, are there any plans to make PST a utility token that will have lasting value for the game and will lose their value, or will it lose its value once the game is officially released? Just for the ones of you who, for those of you who do not know what PST is, it's a raffle event token that we had for several months when we were running raffle season for the EVE collection. Huge amounts of tournaments, letting players play the game and collect these PST tokens. So these are used for exact season. So what I'm about to say is that since it's a more of a seasonal currency in game in terms, that means this currency is used when the season is run. When it's stopped, there is nothing to use it for. But if we decide that there is a good reason for the second season, we might rerun it with the same currency. I am thinking that this is a possibility, but we will need to understand how to make it as properly balanced as possible. Otherwise, we will need to drop it, unfortunately. So for now, the plan is we will drop in some content that possibly will be bought by PSTs, and that's gonna happen probably in 2024, the beginning of it. The next question. The current community events are absolute fire. Thank you very much. And seem to be drawing a lot of attention. There's going to be ongoing events, seasonal or once off. Oh, this is a question. So are there going to be ongoing events? And are there plans for any more collaborations with projects such as Fractal? Well, thank you very much, first off. And now, what I'm trying to say is that, there are definitely plans for running more tournaments. And to run more tournaments, what we need actually is to just launch several new modes, send them to testing, and let you guys play them. This is pretty much it. So seasonal events, tournament events are always gonna be connected with playing the game or somehow engaging in the community. So yeah, hope this covers it. And also, yeah, well, a little bit of a teaser, right, or maybe even a spoiler. So we are going to have more seasonal large events. So EVE character event is not the last one, that's for sure. And we'll be running community engagement stuff to keep just everyone busy and having fun. So please stay tuned. Be open to engage in the engaging games that we're going to offer. It's gonna be fun. Right. So the next question is quite a sad one to me, I guess. So there have been a few security breaches happening in Discord lately. Are there any steps being taken to protect against this in future and help to prepare community on how to protect themselves as the project grows and attacks are more frequent? And the answer is, well, community security is definitely paramount to us. We need to, it's one of the most important parts for us, and growing attention to our project unfortunately makes it us a very tempting target for the malicious actors, and that means that, well, we need to brace ourselves that sometimes we'll see scammers. We do have a wonderful modding team. We do also have a great community manager, so the team involved is quite professional and they're going to help you whatever it is. Additionally, we have got messages from people who were affected by the recent attack, and we are compensating. So if anyone affected who's still out there, please create a ticket, talk to us, because we think that we've done that already. And well, we're also changing the official communications on some of the, well, recommendations to the communications, which is constant reminders on Discord. You must, guys, trust only official channels and website. Magic Eden is currently the sole platform to mint our NFTs, so please do not expect the free mint anywhere else. If somebody sells you that, this is probably a scam. And remember, we never will initiate DMs with you, so be careful and stay safe, guys. The next question: when the minting will happen, and are there any precautions in place for us to be able to confirm ahead of time that site or page we're minting is not a scam? Well, first off, minting will only happen on Magic Eden, so all communications are going to be official. Please make sure to remember that, and tell your friends to remember that. Magic Eden, our main trusted partner in this regard. Date is to be announced still, as we said, second half of August. Please stay tuned. Now, the next question. Next question, guys. Why are we connecting so many outside sites instead of just running all the community events through Discord? Well, main events are held here in the Discord, that's true. Especially when we talk about things after the initial introduction of the product. But the social engagement sites, they have another strong reason. They extend the introduction funnel a little bit, so to speak, to the left. That means that people who come to our product from any projects like Link3 or like Zeely or Gleam or whatnot, do have a better understanding of the game, and thus they keep engaged for a while, so for longer while. This makes us use this as a channel to get extended reach, to actually grow the community a bit, and engagement is the main goal of Discord. So these have slightly different goals. You get reach through the social communities and through social sites, and you get engagement and involvement in Discord. The next question is, will the Hexacore project have its own market site for us to trade NFTs, or will it be third-party trading? For the moment, it will be Magic Eden. On later stages, we are going to probably be on major marketplaces out there, and we're also negotiating options on using marketplaces infrastructure as software as a service, and we will let you know if we decide this happens, because, well, this is quite lucrative. On certain scale of the product, you want to do that. For now, this is something that is slightly out of focus of the company, of the game itself, of the product. Okay, the next question is, will NFTs be priced in Sol, a stable coin, or a token created by the Pocket Space team? And the answer is Sol. Solana. For now, we are there. Okay, are you devs working on any other projects? So, Hexacore developers, internal development team, works only on Pocket Space, exclusively and only. But at the same time, Hexacore is a publishing company, and its publishing partner, called Pyrojam Studio, develops another product that you might have heard about if you have been to our AMAs before, which is called Candy Merge. So it's a casual game. It's oriented to a slightly different audience, which is a good thing for a portfolio publishing company, and yeah, it has very good early marketing numbers, and this is why we believe in its success. The next question is Hexacore invested in any other project that are being developed on Web3 that we should be looking into as well? Thank you for this question, because it continues the previous one. Candy Merge, once again, it's another publishing project that we have. It's showing about benchmark retention numbers. It's aimed for Web3, but with a slightly different strategy. the goal here is to onboard as much as possible older female audiences who play casual games, and then onboard them into the Web3 gaming. Right. Okay. So the next question is, how many players are expected to be able to visit a planet at a single time, and will planet owners have a control over the people who visit their planet, such as making certain areas more dangerous or encouraging them to go a certain path? Will planet owners be allowed to create their quests, or yeah? So the question basically here is about the user-generated content. How strong will this be? At the beginning, as I've mentioned, the player planets, the playable planets, are going to be more like game rooms or servers. So they will be pre-built, they will be randomized in terms of what resources are there, and they will be able to be played by, by opening them up, yeah. And we at the same time are actually working on several hypotheses on how to make these planets configurable, on how to make these planets more of a user-generated content type. We're thinking and also researching into the generative AI experiments, which is quite a trend right now, but we are looking into this as a more long-term thing. So for example, as Roblox have just announced, having textures developed by just single prompts. Yeah, okay, so thanks for the question. So once again, covering this up. So planets are going to be playable at the beginning, not configurable. By the end of the game, of the operations of the game, very likely going to be more of UGC. Okay, next question. With 250 million downloads of the game, how do you plan to bring all your Web 2 users to the Web 3 world? So first off, the answer is it's 250 million of users that downloaded the games made by Apps Hub. They do play a very different game. So for Pocket Space, we're not looking to perfectly intersect these audiences. We do expect that some people will come from there, definitely, yes, but there is not much, nothing on the plan really depends on bringing these audiences. It's developed having just some other things in mind. For example, 3 types of revenue inflows, which would be mobile in-app purchases, NFTs, and in-game ads only for these people who never pay at all. And you might also take a look at this in the white paper and the website of the game. And then we also are building a strong case out of Pocket Space itself. So the main goal is to make a strong game out of itself. And then if it has good numbers, its unit economies work, any audience would be a good audience for it, and then we will be ready to run strong co-marketing and collaborations with the products that we have. The next question is, when you have a token, will there be a partnership with an exchange? As there are a lot of tokens doing very well out in Binance. What do you think about that? So right now, as said before, we're very careful in thinking about tokens. So we don't want to provoke speculative behavior at this stage of the game, at all. It's something that can destroy the development cycle. For now, we are building towards a stronger, devoted, loyal, interested community. So for people who would love to, just for fun and for the sake of sometimes earning something, play the game a bit more, give feedback on the game, and share thoughts. And this is something that we appreciate a lot. So the next question is, will there be guilds, clans, and planet-sized PvP events where we can have massive battles? First off, guilds and clans, definitely, man, this is unavoidable fun, totally going to be there. We cannot do a game without clans, but we don't know the date when it's gonna be ready. So this is something that needs every other system pretty much developed. It takes a lot of time to finish on that. So plans are normally a stage slightly later on the soft launch cycle. So probably we'll have that, if we're lucky, in 2024 in the middle. And for the rest of the question, talking about planet-sized PvPs, some of the planets are that small that yes, that PvPs are going to be planet-sized. And yet we're also, about the massive ones, we're looking for good implementation of our core gameplay to mass battles as well. So this is a slight, teaser for that. Is that we would like to try to make a game for like 25 teams of 4, so that every team has their strategy level, they get the resources, they build and craft, and then they fight. But we'll see about this mode a bit later. We'll see how it goes. So this is the last question now. Will the project be able to build a positive community, and can it be the best project in the present and future with good utilities? Thank you very much for this question. A very positive note, I would say. We definitely are looking forward to making it happen, striving that, and hopefully, yeah, we're gonna get there. So thank you very much for this question. Guys, this concludes it. These are all questions that I have. We will exchange. I'm sorry. We will share the video of the AMA with you. Please stay tuned. Also, we will announce the winners of the best question tournament during the next 5 days. So also stay tuned, and you should probably remember that there is a Link 3 raffle going on. So yeah, so stay tuned on that as well. Thank you very much. If you have any additional questions, drop them in the chat, please. I do appreciate you coming. Thank you very much. This was wonderful. You guys